Well, hello again, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. All right, so we are talking about the Renaissance, chapter 14 in your books. We're going to make this kind of short and sweet, but I think it's important to note that remember that ancient Rome fell around 500 CE, and for about 800 years, 900 years, Europe goes kind of backwards. So now what happens is that there's this Renaissance, and Renaissance means rebirth, all right? And it begins in Florence, all right? And the reason why it begins in Florence is because Florence has money. Florence has a ton of trade coming in, and they are willing to spend money and put back this emphasis on art and learning and architecture. And so one of the main families that is devoted to this task is the Medici family. And the Medicis are going to be super wealthy, super like philanthropist and kind of supporters of the arts, and they're also going to be ruthless politicians. You have Medici family members that are going to become popes. They are going to run probably the largest banking system in Italy, and they are going to be waging wars against rival politicians. So they are very, very dynamic, I guess, in who they are. Then you get a lot of the stuff that comes back from the fall of Constantinople that has all of these Greek scholars and ancient texts from Rome and Greece, like Aristotle and these guys, that their works were lost to much of Europe that now come back to them. So now remember, Italy is sectioned off into city-states still, okay? As much as the rest of Europe is now starting to form into France, Spain, Germany, well, not so much Germany yet, but at least the Holy Roman Empire, England, those guys are now starting to get rid of feudalism, have kings with a centralized government, but not Italy. Italy is still within those city-states. The northern city-states rival against each other. Genoa, Florence, Venice, all competitive with trade against one another and control their own cities and governments and surrounding areas. And in the middle of Italy is called the Papal States, and papal means pope, and those are the states of the Pope, and they are pretty much under church control. You can see here on the map, here you have the Kingdom of Two Sicilies. This purple part is the Papal States. Here you have Florence. You can see Venice, this green part, all right, is part of them. Here's Genoa. And so all of the trade coming through the Mediterranean is coming through these guys, and then now starts to go up through the rest of Western Europe. And Western Europe starts to dig itself out of the poverty and the darkness and all the rest that's occurred. All right. There is a map you can see, like here's France and Spain and Portugal and England, Wales and Scotland and Ireland are forming, right? They are something that 400 years ago, 300 years ago would not have even been on the map here yet. All right. And so, what was the Renaissance? It's a European resurgence of learning based on classical sources. We talked about what were the classics. The classics are anything that deals with ancient Greece and Rome. All right. So a lot of those arches, a lot of the learning and science and things like that those societies developed that were lost during the Middle Ages now start to come back. All right, so here's what I want to do. I'm going to show you a quick, like a 3-minute video here. We're going to start right in the middle of it. Hopefully this will all work. Let's see what it does. Alrighty, Hamiltons. So we are back. Um, and just to go real quick, you're going to see something else coming up regarding all the artwork and that. But the one thing that's important to know is these polymaths are people that are, wide-ranging knowledge and talent, all right? And they do multiple things, okay? Leonardo, Da Vinci, and Michelangelo are big. It is the Renaissance that brings us our Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Raphael, Donatello, Leonardo, and Michelangelo are all famous Renaissance artists who could paint, sculpt, um, they did a ton of scientific experiments. And so, I mean, if you think about it, some of the world's greatest sculptures and paintings come from just these guys. And so it's pretty crazy. All right, so these were the three. Those are the two, and then the third is William Shakespeare. And the Northern Renaissance is going to take place a little later as it goes more north and north. But by the time it gets to England, Shakespeare is going to come on the scene, and his plays and that are going to be also part of the Renaissance. All right. Here's Da Vinci, his Vitruvian Man on the side, the self-portrait in the middle, and Da Vinci is also the Mona Lisa, responsible for that. These are some of his drawings. He dissected bodies, which was, not very allowed at the time because of the church and going to heaven and, burying the bodies and that. The flying machine concept, the idea of he was the first one to come up with, he has drawings of submarines, helicopters, things like that, and tanks that, obviously are going to take another 100, probably 300-400 years to get to, but he was the first. Michelangelo, that's that David, you'll see that. The top of the Sistine Chapel. And then there's Bill Shakespeare. All right, everybody, we are good. I will talk to you later. I hope you enjoy the Renaissance. It's one of the coolest time periods in history, and a ton of stuff out there. So I hope you enjoyed. I'll talk to you. See ya.